Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Leverage Call. Hi, Kira. Hi, Kate. Hi, Tiffany. Hi, Lisa. Hi, Haley. Hi, Olga. Hi, Akila. Hi, Lana. Hi, Rachel Cooley. Hi, Sarah Coolidge. Hi, Elizabeth Beads. Hello, hello. How are you all? Can you guys hear me okay? Say
Yes.
something. There you go.
Yes, we can
Yay!
hear you.
We did it.
We did it.
We did it. Welcome to December. Can you guys believe it's the end of the frickin' year? What happened?
The decade. The decade.
Yeah.
It's the end of the decade. Whoa. Just allow yourselves to arrive here. Take a nice deep breath. Let yourself be fully present. This time is for you. This time is for your future clients. This time is for your business. This time is for your passions. Hi, Adrienne. Hi, Nancy. All right. This month's topic is all about list building, tribe building. We're going to talk a little bit about spiral marketing, make sure everybody's on the same page. But go ahead and take a moment to look at your leverage sisters, these crazy women who have decided to be on this journey with you. Many of whom you were just on the island together, some of whom you missed a lot because you didn't make it, and that's okay. We'll get you all caught up. But give each other a little nod just to say, yeah, we're doing this. Yeah, it's happening. Yep, it's the end of the decade, and we're still committed. One day, 1 week, 1 month at a time. Give each other a big high five and unmute yourselves and give each other a big wahoo.
Hey, everybody.
That's the cool thing, right? Like being an entrepreneur, it's freaking fun. Like it is a lot of work, but it is so much fun. Like I'm working on my January launch right now, and I have this little bit of time to finish everything I need to do for the January launch because I just got back from Hawaii, and I'm heading to Uganda with Serena and Shannon and our copywriter, Megan Walrod. We leave at like 4 a.m. on Friday morning. So I have just like this tiny window of time to do everything to get my January launch ready. And we found out yesterday that my idea for a new quiz is completely like not legal. I had created this totally new quiz for women speakers. It was, what's your speaker style? Are you like Oprah? Are you a motivator? Are you like Ellen DeGeneres? Are you a humorist? And then I found out that you can't use any celebrity names in marketing at all. And I mean, duh, I should have checked that, right? Before I cut videos, spent hours creating Facebook ads and copy. So I was up at 6 a.m, totally re-engineering the quiz. And now I just kept saying, okay, I'm going to let this go. Okay, I'm going to let this go. I was going to have pictures of Oprah and Ellen and Brene Brown, truth teller, last night I had my big disappointing moment about it. I'm like, okay, I'm going to let this go. I know something better is going to come. Something better is going to come. And I'm sitting there watching Netflix and I'm texting with my friend Jennifer Hootie. And she's like, what about discovering your stage superpower? And you could have like 4 pictures of superheroes. And I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. So I went online last night and found some pop art. I got up at 6 a.m. and re-engineered the quiz to be what's your stage superpower. And like in the middle of it, I'm texting my friend Vrinda Normand, I'm texting Jennifer Hootie, I'm texting Ocean Robbins, and they're all giving me these amazing ideas. And it's like, it's work, but it's fun. Do you know what I mean? Like, I just want to speak into how much fun I saw you all have in Hawaii. Like, I don't think we've ever had so much fun as a group. And I look forward to being back together with all of you in March at Women Rocking Business Live in Santa Cruz so we can have our reunion. And again next year for many of you who are orienting toward being in leverage another year. But I just really want to reflect to you all how much maturity and engagement and action that you're taking, and you're collaborating and having more fun as you're doing it. So I'm excited to dive into the content today. I'm excited to have Megan here. I want to hear from just a couple of you what's been alive in you since being on the island, what's changed between your relationship with your business and your commitment, and just share, a couple lines about Hawaii to scoop up any of the women who weren't there with us, to loop them in on the learning. Who wants to share?
It's Janice. I'll share. I came back with no more excuses. I feel like it's just really important to hone in, stay focused, and there's stories and things that are happening, but what's my intention? So it was wonderful being there.
I love it. I love it. I love how committed I've watched you become, how much you're bottom lining things and how much you're just engaging with like all of the mad, crazy talent that you have. The entrepreneurial world is so different than the media world. And it's like a new game that you have to figure out. For all of you, you were in a career before you came into this game. So was I. And the more you're willing to play and figure it out and be a beginner again, the more I'm seeing all of you step in. Kiss for Janice. Mwah. Who else wants to share? Kia.
So kind of along the same lines, I feel like, the energy you get from Hawaii, that sort of that vibrancy and the lift that it provides. I came home and sort of that no excuses aspect was just, there was something driving me in a new way. And I'm like, I don't exactly know what it is or exactly what I'm doing, but I'm seeing do this and then do this and then drop that and then drop that. And, one of the more fun ones was my computer is dying currently. It just goes on the fritz sometimes it's every 5 minutes, sometimes it's every couple hours. And so I'm trying to get a flash sale on Black Friday and doing most of it from my phone and then trying to transfer it over to the computer, and I just finally got it out. And I'm like, you know what? Whatever. I can't look at it now for the next 2 days because I'm in a place my computer won't work and whatnot. And I come back into my email 2 days later and I'm like, hey, look, there's money. People oh my God, there's money. And it was just that, just do it. And I feel
just
like that vibe from Hawaii was just do it. Just throw it out there. Just do it. And things happen. So yeah.
I love it. I love it. I think that's one of the reasons why I fight so hard to go to Hawaii. I mean, can you guys imagine what Hawaii costs us as a team versus being in California? Can you just start to imagine? We're talking about an extra 25 grand, right? But I'm so committed to taking women there every year and taking women there year after year, because there's something about being on an island that's being created under our feet as we speak. It's the newest island. Land is being created right now. There's something about being there that has us go, oh, I could stop thinking about this and just act and just be in pure action. And the more you learn about how to do these things and getting a Facebook group going and loving up your people on social media and making them offers and making videos, the more you learn about that and the more you apply yourself, the more you can just get out of your own way and stop thinking about it and just do it. And just let yourself be a channel, a conduit of all of these actions that we get to take to reach people and make a difference. We make it so complicated and struggle oriented in our own minds sometimes. Raise your hand if you know what I'm talking about, right? And we could just get out of our way and do it, right? And that's what I'm putting a stake in the ground for all of you for 2020, that you really enter into 2020 as a year of absolute channeling, action, progress, results, flow. It's the ultimate flow that you all now have the opportunity to step into. And we did give the women who were on the island, who are our spring clients, for those of you that have been with us for 7 months, we gave you an opportunity to orient toward being with us a whole nother year, because it was the last time we were going to be together in person as a group. So if you were not there and you are a spring client, I recommend, if you're interested in hearing about that opportunity, just shoot Sylvia an email and we'll get you on the phone with Shannon or Claire, and we'll make sure that you understand what the opportunity is. It's not a commitment to a whole nother year. It's just a commitment to the first month. And when you commit to the first month, we're getting you a VIP day. So you have extra training with Megan and I in February to make sure that you're getting what you need to stay the extra year. We're getting you a couple of extra coaching sessions with the coaches. And it's a really sweet deal. Like, we lock you in at a grandmother rate. So just shoot Sylvia an email and let her know that you're interested. support@sagelevine.com, and we'll get you all the details. And can I have an aha for some of the women who are orienting toward Hawaii 2020? We'll be out there with the dolphins. For those of you that got a chance to swim with the dolphins, like, just what was it like? One word for the women who haven't had that yet with us, the wild spinner dolphins.
Amazing.
Magical.
Yeah, it's pretty over the top. Like, you can't come back from that experience and not just become a channel of magic. All right. I saw Yvonne's hand up, and then I'm excited to dive into some chit chat on spiral marketing and a reminder of the I'm a Big Deal contest. What do you got, Yvonne?
I just wanted to speak to the power of the container. That, I think, is what I got the most of. And that allowed me to return to just simple things, you know, like getting connected with other people for referrals. And for some reason, that was just a big lift for me. But really resting into the container, I mean, you've been telling us that from the very beginning, but it just really started to mean something on Hawaii. And then I came back and, you know, to your point about sometimes being an entrepreneur is just having fun. I spent all day yesterday creating a new video and loving it. Yeah, I just love it to promote my event this weekend, and used pretty much all the advice you gave me on stage. So yeah, it was fun. Yeah, and the whole time that I was playing with lighting and positioning, I was going, this is fun. I'm having fun.
The more you do it, the more joy and freedom you can apply. I love it. Because for Yvonne, mwah. In a moment, Megan, I'm going to have you share a little bit about your thoughts on spiral marketing and how you've seen it really serve our clients, because this is really the core of you having this stuff work for you so that you can get the momentum, enroll the clients, you know, be with us for several years so that you can really continue to rest into the container. There's so much value in just resting into a container like Leverage for 2 or 3 years. You know, we want to be here for the lifetime of your business, and we're positioning ourselves to be able to do that, to be able to start training your team for you as you hire team members, and so that you don't have to start over in a new community somewhere else, right? Like, look at what some of our Lotus clients are, you know, moving toward $500,000 in revenue and hiring out teams. And we're putting a stake in the ground that every single one of you that want those results can continue to rest into us. And as we show up for you, to really commit to you building the business that allows you to really rest into staying with us. Spiral marketing is the key. It's kind of like the heart to setting your business up so that your clients keep plugging back in. And I want to take a quick moment to remind you that we have a contest happening this month. And dun, 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 the videos for the I'm a Big Deal contest are due next week, December 13th. So the way this works is when you make a video, you are eligible to land yourself a spot on the Women Rocking Business Live stage in March. You'll be on the success panel sharing your successes, and you will also be gifted with a headshot package from an incredible photographer who is among us named Siddiqui Ray. Headshots are not cheap. By the way, Siddiqui is not just volunteering her time. She is absolutely getting paid to deliver these incredible headshots for you. And then you're going to get $5,000 gift certificate toward Leverage, or another program through Women Rocking Business. So it's a $10,000 value. And then second and third place for the I'm a Big Deal video challenge includes both a spot on the success panel and some gold pass coaching sessions with our team, and a $1,500 gift certificate toward Leverage, or another program. Remember that in order to be eligible to win, the video has to be imperfect. It cannot be too perfect. And it's got to be less than 2 minutes explaining your big deal celebration. Remember, if you just joined Leverage, we would love it if you would play in this game. If you're newer, it does not matter how long you've been here. It matters that you've applied yourself, you've had some kind of a mindset shift or some kind of a result. And we're challenging you to use one of these sentence stems. I'm a big deal because I was terrified and I did it anyway, and blah, 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 I got a client, whatever it is. I rocked the stage is another great sentence stem. I'm rocking my business by taking the following actions. All right. And then be sure to share your results. If you have had income, if you have had clients come in, be sure to share your results and get those posted by next week, December 13th at midnight. And by the way, I am taking off, like I said, to Uganda on Friday. So Megan will be here leading the call next Tuesday, but those videos are due the following Friday. And believe me when I say, I am going to be looking forward to watching all of them when I get back from Africa. And we will choose a winner and announce the winner the first week of January. So raise your hand if you are stoked to play and post your video. We can't wait to see you. Remember, it's just great practice as well. And the last announcement that I have is that we're launching the Bring a Friend contest the first week of January. And the way that works is you can invite your friends to Women Rocking Business Live in March, and you each get 12 tickets, first come, first serve, to invite your friends, basically until we sell out, and we've sold out the last 3 years. The contest is not officially launched yet, but the dates of Women Rocking Business Live are confirmed for March 17th through the 19th. We'll get you all of the materials the first week of January to start playing. And in the meantime, you can let your friends know to save the dates, March 17th through the 19th. And they will be welcome to come to Women Rocking Business Live on a full scholarship ticket. All we require is a $100 fully refundable seat deposit. And for those of you that want to play, we have some really cool prizes in mind. I'm actually going to do a survey with you guys on what you want me to do. I always do a VIP day with you guys that play, a full extra day of training. And I'm curious if you guys want training on how to write and launch a book, extra training on TEDx Talks, extra training on tribe building. I'm going to survey you guys and see what you want. And we'll do a really cool VIP day for you guys. And the person who wins the Bring a Friend contest always wins a totally free spot in Leverage, which is pretty badass. 100% free, full scholarship, complete year in Leverage. So start tapping your friends on the shoulder over the holidays and let them know that's coming up. Valerie, what you got? Quick question.
Yes, I have a quick question because I participated in the San Diego and I was told that it was going to add up to March. And I actually had a friend sign up a week ago because I didn't have the new link, and I just told her, go ahead. And I told Sylvia, that counts, right? All of that. Okay.
100%. If your friends have already signed up, and if they just email Sylvia and let us know that they're your friend, you will get credit. You get credit for all your San Diego referrals. All of those friends count.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you.
Kisses for all the friends who are coming. Mwah. Awesome. All right. So spiral marketing. We had a technical glitch this morning and we could not get this last handout posted for you in your forum. So we put it in Facebook, which is something that we've done before. So all you have to do to grab the spiral marketing handout is head over into Facebook and go into files, and you will see the spiral marketing handout. Some of you already have this handout. Some of you have heard me talk about spiral marketing so much that you're like, okay, Sage. I get it. And the reason I keep revisiting it is because it's like everything that is important about making sure your programs stack up against each other, and so that you don't end up filling your potential clients so full of information that they need to go away for 6 months before they ever consider hiring you. Megan, do you want to speak a little bit more into why spiral marketing matters so much and why we keep talking to you guys about it?
Yes, because when you use spiral marketing, you are recognizing that you are only solving one problem at a time. There's the first layer of what people need. And I know from talking to all of you that you see the bigger vision of what your clients need. You know, you see further out than they see, but you've got to solve the first problem that they need before they can start to see, oh, now I have another problem. They recognize that next layer. So this is a place with spiral marketing where you get to take that big vision and an overview that you see and put it into action with your free opt-in gifts, your speaking engagements, events, to your program as the bigger solution. And each step of the way, you get to solve another level of the problem or the challenges that they face. I was thinking about an example of this morning with Rose Cole. She has a really great example where she has a free e-guide, which is the 9 shamanic gifts. And so it just lets people know, oh, here are the 9 possible shamanic gifts, and you can discover what they are. And that's going to appeal to people who want to know what are those gifts. And then in the gift, she also talks about how you could start to apply them. And the next level is Awaken, her live event for Activate Your Shamanic Gifts. And then from there, she has the Shamanic Academy as a year-long training program for people who really want to be mentored and grow along that path. So you can see how it's bringing people along that spiral. And for each of you, you have that opportunity to think about how you could be creating your free gifts or your talks or your events to lead people down the path consciously towards your live event or towards your year-long program or your 6-month, 9-month program, whatever you're offering.
Exactly. And as I was speaking with some of you in Hawaii, I realized that I'm always looking for what are the gaps in our group. I'm always looking for it. Mm-hmm. And as I spoke with some of you in Hawaii, I could feel the need for us to have this conversation one more time, especially as we're talking about list building and tribe building, because without a little bit of forethought on what are the specific problems of each piece of your funnel. What's the specific problem that your lead magnet solves? What's the specific problem that your Facebook challenge solves? Without some forethought about those being different, we risk people feeling like they got an answer and then just going away. And it's not really fair to them either to give them something that they think is whole and complete, because they are going to be faced with more problems. And why not shine the light on those problems before they go, right? So that you can actually continue to serve them over the long term. So here's what the handout looks like, just so that you can see another example of this. Megan's example about Rose is perfect. But the definition of spiral marketing is that inherent in the problem your program solves for your clients lies the next problem that you can solve, right? And that goes for free gifts as well. Here's an example. We have a Facebook challenge about becoming a master of enrollment. It solves the problem, how do I host an enrollment conversation? I talk a lot about the GROW model and what that conversation actually looks like to end up in a client saying yes to you. But they still don't know how to find their clients. They don't know how to launch a business that creates clients coming to them every month who want to talk to them about their services. They still sometimes don't even know what they're really selling. Those are the things that we do at our 3-day live event. Does that make sense? And then at our 3-day live event, they get a clear plan on how to find clients. They learn how to launch. And then they still don't actually know how to design a public speaking talk. They don't know necessarily how to fill their practice. They don't know how to do any online launching. That's what we teach in our year-long program. Is this helpful? I looked at my launch 2 years ago for, it used to be Events That Change Lives. Now it'll be Women Rocking the Stage. And 2 years ago, we all of a sudden had a problem where a lot less people were signing up for our webinar. So the way I do my launch is I do a 5-day Facebook challenge, just like I teach you guys to do. And the offer is get on the masterclass. All week long, all 5 days, go get on the masterclass, go get on the masterclass. And on the masterclass, I make a big sale for the $1,000 program. Now, you don't have to do that. You can make the offer on your 5-day video challenge, especially if your offer is discovery sessions. But because I have affiliate partners and I do this big 2-week-long launch in January, it makes sense for me to have a masterclass, because when you get to the point where you want to put hundreds of people in a low-priced program, one of the reasons why you see me and you're going to watch me in January, I highly recommend you do track our Women Rocking the Stage launch so you can see all the different parts of it. There's so much to learn. Really good learning all the way through. But one of the reasons why I do a 5-day video challenge, I do the masterclass, and then I do some Q&A calls or a live stream all spread out over 2 weeks' time is because I have 24 people lined up to promote that launch who all have really big lists. And they can't all mail in the same 3-day window. Does that make sense? So the reason to build out a more sophisticated, more complicated launch like that is that you have built your list to the point where now you can play with people that have bigger lists and they can promote you over a 2-week time period and you can do a big launch like that. But in the meantime, your guys' launches are working great. You guys are doing 5-day video challenges. You're getting people on discovery sessions. It's working. Now, what happened to me 2 years ago is I sat down and I saw that people were signing up for the video series, but they weren't signing up for the masterclass as much. So I became like a detective. Why do we have a lower sign-up rate for the masterclass this year? Guess what the solution of the masterclass is? How to fill your speaking engagements. That is the title of the masterclass. How to get butts in seats. Guess what topic I had added to my 5-day Facebook challenge for the first time? How to fill events. For the first time, I added it into my Facebook challenge because my copywriter's like, oh, you should definitely spend a day teaching them how to fill events. And I thought, oh, it had been a couple years since I had designed the launch. I was so removed from it that I forgot the main reason people get on the freaking masterclass is because that is the time they get to learn how to fill their events. So for those 5 days, we teach them all these other things about events, but we don't really teach them how to fill it. And they all want to know. So they get on the masterclass and then we make the offer. And it's a wonderful opportunity to make sure I get the offer in front of people's noses. Are you with me? Can you guys see it? This is spiral marketing. I made the mistake to do the very thing I tell you guys not to do. And I taught them the same thing in 2 different parts of my funnel, and I had less conversion because of it. And luckily for me, the whole rest of the launch was so good and the content was so good. You know, we still made $400,000. We did fine, but it was still lower than the year previous. Are you picking up what I'm laying down? So that is why we have to be sure that your Facebook challenge solves a different problem than your program. And we have to be sure that your checklist or your ebook or your freebie solves a different problem than your Facebook challenge. So what I'd like to have you do right now, just for the next 10 or 15 minutes before we start talking about the other list building strategies, I'd like to play and have another little experiment. And I'd like to have you, I invite you to go into the Leverage Facebook group and go ahead and post your spiral marketing plan so that Megan and I can get our eyes on this for you. Some of you have already worked on this. And I say this with total love. You can never work on this too much. Can you see it? This is something that is one of those things that you're probably going to be visiting and revisiting throughout your career a couple times a year. So Megan, let's take a couple of volunteers and let's help a couple of you talk through your spiral marketing plan. But when I say I'd like you to post your spiral marketing plan, I don't need 3 paragraphs. I just want to know what's the main problem your free gift solves, and then what's the main problem, for instance, that your Facebook challenge solves, or what's the main problem that your 3-day live event is going to solve. And I want to start looking at how are those different, and just getting some examples here so that you can go back and you can build this, continue to build this out for yourself, and you can go back and you can get with your coach and you can go through the results and promises of the different things that you're offering to your clients. Because if there's one thing we can make sure you learn this year, before we head into, the following year, before we head into our new year, if there's one thing we can really do to ensure your success, it's making sure you're really clear on your results and problems of each part of your funnel. So head over to Facebook and just let us know. It doesn't have to be every single part, but just let us know, here's the problem that my checklist solves. But once they know that, they need to know this next thing. And that's where the Facebook challenge comes in, right? Or that's where the next piece comes in. So who wants to actually talk through this? Sarah, is your hand up from the spiral marketing?
Yes, it is. I had a question. I'm not sure.
Go for it.
Feeds right into this. So when you have that, the spiral marketing sheet up, which I have not been able to open, but it almost felt counterintuitive, some of the steps, as if, wait a minute, wouldn't you want to know that first? And so my sense is that where we want to start is something that will lead to something else, obviously, but also something that's the sign on the door that, people want, and we know they want, and that they'll come in for, even if it's not necessarily the very first step, like figuring out what I want to sell seems to me like the first step, and yet that doesn't show up till maybe ELA in your...
Right, but here's the thing. If I promote to you guys, yay, come join a training so you can figure out what the heck you're selling, it's not
exactly.
It's not nearly going to fly as much as here's how to find your clients.
Yeah,
and
it's the sign on the door.
How to find your clients is the sign on the door. And one of the things people need to learn is, what the hell am I selling? But you want to find those top marketing promises that are magnetic, right? For your niche, right? Because your people are hurting. They're in pain.
Good. So my downloadable gift is How to Network Like a Queen, which is
right.
why person-to-person networking is something you want to do if you're trying to find clients.
Got it.
And then the next thing, which would, whatever it is, Facebook challenge or other thing, would be, okay, how to actually talk to people when you are at networking. The next thing that creates is how to follow up with them once you get them to respond to you. And at that point, it's come to my year-long program to deal with how to manage them now that you've got them, how to support them, how to keep them. Seems to me to be mine.
The year-long program is how to keep your clients?
Well, that would be, that would be the problem that's created by, okay, now you've got all these people that you're following up with. What are the systems to support them, and how do you keep them once you get them in? That would be parts of the year-long program.
So I would say How to Network Like a Queen is your freebie. Once you know how to network, now you have colleagues, affiliate partners, and maybe even some potential clients that you're talking to. Can you teach enrollment in your next step? Can you teach enrollment? Can you teach packaging your programs like we do? Yeah.
Okay.
I wouldn't keep networking as every piece of the funnel. Do you know what I mean? Because once you teach some basic networking skills, people are going to feel like they have a handle on it. Now they want to learn something else.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
I love it. Kiss for Sarah.
Thank you.
Who else do we have, Megan?
For hands, let me just check the page and see who's commented.
And while we wait, let's hear from Lucy.
Hi. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes. And by the way, finger is healing nicely.
Oh, yay. We're sending
Great.
you so much healing and love.
Yes. Well, it's working.
Good.
So is the question, what is the big first problem that everybody thinks they need? Is that part one of this spiral?
Yes, ma'am. What do you got?
Okay. So people need to find the clients and turn them into big orders. So they think initially that it's finding clients and don't understand that you can get a decent client and you can bomb and sell nothing, or you can get somebody that seems okay and you do it right and they'll invest really well. So am I on track with that? That the problem is finding clients, how to find high paying clients.
How to find clients that can afford your services.
And want it.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Okay.
Beautiful. And then once they know that, once you give them a couple tools about that, then the next thing would be what?
The next phase is how to turn those clients into how to you get a great lead of someone with potential, how to fulfill all that potential.
Yes. And
ordering.
The 12-year-old language for that is probably how to have a conversation that results in a sale.
Okay.
Right?
Yes.
Or how to build the relationship in a way that results in the sale. And that's one of the reasons why we want to revisit this with you guys, is because what happens is you guys start to know so much about what your clients need. You're at an expert level of an 8, 9, 10, and your clients are still using 12-year-old language to describe their problems. Can you see it?
Yes.
Can you see how you're going to go macro, you're going to go all sophisticated, but what they still need to hear is the basics.
Okay.
Okay. So yeah, once you know how to find clients who are high paying clients who can afford your services, affluent clients, however you want to describe that, the next step is to learn to have the conversation or build the relationship that turns those potential clients into paying clients, that turns those into yeses. I love it. Very clear.
Okay. So would a lead magnet be about finding them, and then, because my 5-day challenge, that seems to me like it would be helpful, but it doesn't give them everything, is what to say on the phone, that there's a system.
Yeah, the 5-day challenge is about how to have the conversation,
right,
to enroll a client. Yep. So your lead magnet would be like how to find clients that can afford your services.
Okay.
Yep. I love it.
And then the 5-day, and then the next spiral is, this is a whole system, and I've got this online course, and you'll get the start to finish. Okay.
Yep. And now that you know how to find your clients, and now that you know how to have a conversation, guess what? You need to know how to automate some of this, and you need to know how to actually keep these clients once you have them. And there's all these other things. And that's why I'm offering you my training program.
Okay. Yeah.
Yep.
They need to know actually how to sell. That's the big pain point, is like, quit giving your work away and actually sell it. So, okay. Thank you.
Give her a kiss. Mwah. What do we have on the page, Megan?
Hey, Deanna Deacon. You ready to pop on with us? Go ahead and unmute yourself. Deanna has opt-in gift, Unshakable Self, free guide to address the problem of I feel alone, unworthy, and disconnected from myself. And solution, 5 simple daily techniques to become confident and love yourself again. And then problem created 2 weeks after they received the guide, no longer using the techniques, need accountability to stay committed. So then there's the empowerment roadmap call, where she invites into a 6-month program. Deanna, are you on?
Yeah, I'm here. Hi.
Okay, great. Hi. So right now you're working with supporting people who feel like they're not, it's self-love. That's the
Yeah.
focus, right?
Yeah, it's women who are living primarily in their masculine energy are feeling disconnected from themselves and their feminine. And it's showing up in a way of lack of confidence with their partners, with even saying things to their kids, coworkers, etc.
Okay. And then right now, so you have the 5 techniques to help them come into more confidence and more empowerment with themselves. And then from there, you're jumping to a discovery call.
Yeah. So the empowerment roadmap call, I market it as get clear on your next best step towards your desired empowerment or what empowerment looks like for you. I've had about 60 women download the guide. And from that, I haven't had a single person sign up for the empowerment roadmap call.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I feel like it could be more clear.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too.
This is exactly why we're so stoked to get you guys thinking like this and get you guys continuing to work with your buddies and your board of directors, work with your coaches on really making these each next problem, making it so crystal clear and no brainer. Because when you do that, your funnel becomes like butter and you see that people are moving through the funnel and taking you up on the next thing. I love it. So, Deanna, are your clients single women?
Most of them are moms.
Most of them are moms.
And most of them do seem to have partners. Yes.
And how many paying clients are you working with now?
I have quite a few in one-on-one programs that are about to complete. And then I did an event last month and I got 5 women into a 6-month program for the new year.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
And do you want to start advertising that it's for moms?
No, because I'm not a mom. It feels unintegral for me.
It's not really a problem. We have, clients who have built 6-figure businesses helping women through breast cancer who have never had breast cancer. And I hired a, dating coach last year who was the best dating coach ever, who was single. She's not in a successful relationship right now.
Okay.
So it's not as much of an issue if you give it context.
Okay.
But if it's not moms, it doesn't need to be moms. If you really want to blow this up, I would like to, invite you to go into another level of specificity around who these women are. Because I don't know who to send you based on what, you're not totally passing the taste-based test to me. I think you're crushing it because you're super good at what you do. And my guess is you might be working harder than you need to be working.
I am. Yeah. I am. And I know I am. And it's challenging. Okay.
Yeah.
So this is just coming down to my niche.
Can you tell us why? So what were they coming to your event for? What was the promise of your live event?
It's called the Empowered Woman Conference, and it was all about just simple techniques for women to tap into their own personal confidence, personal empowerment, to believe in themselves, to connect back into themselves and learn a more feminine model or technique to do so. And they loved it. The event was amazing.
Yay.
Mm-hmm.
Yay. And where are you located?
I'm in British Columbia in Canada.
Nice.
Yeah.
The women's empowerment niche can do really well in Canada, in the Midwest. The women's empowerment niche it's much more tapped out, like on the West Coast of the United States, right?
Mm-hmm.
The big city, New York, California. It's going to be harder to really stand out with a women's empowerment conference because there's so much women's empowerment. But in Canada, I think it can totally still fly. So one thing that I might invite you to look at, if you want to stick with the women's empowerment niche, and you're happy to continue to be somewhat geographically, like if you keep doing the local marketing efforts.
Yep.
Because I think the Canadian market is going to continue to respond for a while. I wonder if you could have Unshakable Self. So you have 60 people taking you up on that, but they're not going to the next piece.
Yeah. And I have an email campaign. So they have multiple different emails coming in, each with an invite for an empowerment roadmap call, but I haven't had a person click on that and book from it.
Yeah. Yeah. I wonder if you can do a better job promising a breakthrough in that empowerment call, like really laying out the problem, like, okay, so now that you've started to understand the recipe for becoming unshakable, now we actually have to address what's prevented you from being unshakable for not just a year or two, but for the, like, probably your entire adult life, right?
Yeah.
Like something happened to you as a child that took away your deep innate self-worth and knowledge that, you know, you're loved and protected and everything's okay. And we need to get you a breakthrough around that. So, you know, to really shift the languaging, and maybe it's maybe it's an empowerment breakthrough call, so that they know this is an opportunity to come and have their next breakthrough. Because nobody becomes unshakable by reading a guidebook.
No.
Right? Yeah. And so to put the videos in, to put a video in place, to put a little bit more of a specific campaign in place around, okay, your next step is to have a breakthrough around why you're, you know, around what's really got to heal for you to take that next level of confidence yeah.
So it's kind of like the Unshakable Self Guide is what calls people in, and a lot, I announced it, I think last week, and I had 60 people sign up. So that's good. So they like that terminology. Yeah. But then it's going sort of backwards. So here's all the information. Here's some information you need for that. But let's go back into why you're there in the first place, why you even need this. So it's kind of taking it back to the beginning.
It's not, and that's the thing. It does not have to be linear.
Yeah.
But we need to have something to get people's attention. Oh yeah, I need this. I want this. And then we keep peeling back the onion of what really are the problems your people are facing, and how do we solve the next problem for them. It's not the next linear problem. It's the next thing that they may need on their journey to expansion, empowerment, self-growth, building a business. And it's always arguable. It doesn't really necessarily matter oftentimes whether you give somebody this thing first or this thing first. So what Megan and I don't want you doing is we don't want you getting so confused about, well, what should I give first? And is this the right or wrong way to do it? It's not about that. It's just about each step being clear. Are you guys with me on that? It's just about each step being crystal clear. Here's why you're going to come to the Facebook challenge, and here's why you're going to get on that empowerment breakthrough call. And I think with more specific outcome of that empowerment breakthrough call, you're going to have more people take you up on it.
Okay.
And maybe a little bit more nurturing, you know, maybe a video, maybe,
I have a video. I have a few pieces, like quite a few pieces in place. But it's obviously just not speaking to the specific thing that's going to cause them to
I would revisit the video and, you know, congratulate them for being on the journey. And now the next step is to get that next level of intimacy with what's really holding you back. And that, by the way, is what I love to do, is sit down with women and really look at what is holding you back.
Okay. Thank you.
Beautiful. Yeah. Kiss for Deanna. Mwah. All right. Last share, and then we're going to have you continue sharing these on the Facebook page, leaning into your coach, bringing this brainstorming into your board of directors group, so that you can all feel confident that each problem that you're solving, each part of what you're offering passes a face test and is simple. Megan, did you have another one you wanted to pull?
Sure. Let's look at Kate Duffy. We missed you in Hawaii.
Kate, we missed you.
I missed you guys. I gotta say, I got a lot out of that live stream though.
Good.
Feeling you guys, so feeling it.
Yeah. Yay. It was the first time we were able to do that. And for the first time, the hotel was able to do hardwire internet. So I'm so glad we were able to do that for you guys.
You're transmitting. It came across. Yeah.
Yay.
All right, Kate. So you've got a signature talk causing the family to shift and have an aha to see what they're doing. So you said, wait, I'm actually doing things that are hurting or keeping addiction alive. Just for those who don't know, you work with families with people who are alcoholics. And then tell a class, they get to identify specifically what ways they're colluding with the addiction and in what ways they need to let go and say or do new things. So it looks like in that one, you're helping them learn some new language, some new habits. and then a group program. They get to practice the new ways of being and have community to go on getting coaching to really create the change.
Yeah.
All right. So the first one with your signature talk, what are you calling the title? Just because that felt a little bit wobbly to me, the confusion there.
It is. And right now it's recovery conversations or recovery language. So where I break down in all this is how the parts link and the titling. So it's certainly more than we can do right now, but ask away and we'll pick apart a piece.
Okay, so recovery conversations is a signature talk, and I would say having that could be the headline, recovery conversations, and then something like let's see, a subtitle for
so another subtitle he uses, ending the chaos, stop the chaos so everybody can recover.
Yeah, and empowering families of addicts to stop the chaos, right? To just make it that clear in the title or subtitle. This is for families of addicts.
I like that it starts with empowering too, and not with
chaos. Empowering families of addicts to stop the chaos. That could be a really good subtitle for you.
Yeah, I like that, empowering families of addicts, because the challenge with what you're saying right now is, see what you're doing that's hurting or keeping the addiction alive. People aren't necessarily really
know what that
readily going to want to go and attend that kind of talk right away. So it's great to talk about the empowerment side of it, especially in person. We've seen that difference for online or in person. When it's in person, people want to have more of the language of, I'm going to come and feel uplifted and encouraged by this experience. Right. Not like, you're doing everything
and then your next step from a signature talk is going to want to be a discovery session, right?
Yeah, though some are enrolling in the teleclass from the talk.
Sure, but you really want to hit the talk, because once you really want to hit the discovery session hard with your offer, because once they come, I wouldn't even really mention at that point the teleclass, because once they come in and they're with you for 2 hours, the next step is an enrollment conversation. The next step is that you're talking with them about whether they want to hire you or not, and that you're taking your time very seriously. So once you're actually with people in person, you guys, you don't want to keep sending them into other free gifts. And so, a recovery.
The class is not free, but I still agree that it needs to go into enrollment.
Okay. And the teleclass how much are you charging?
It's going to be $997. It's 12 weeks.
Okay, great. So you can make an offer at your signature talks if you're ready to start bypassing the discovery sessions completely. If you have enough high-paying clients, then absolutely, then you make an offer for the teleclass.
From a 2-hour talk, that feels okay. I feel like at the first of the year, I do want to be doing that, because the talks are pretty well attended.
Then I would spend some time going through in your library. There's a training call on how to make a paid offer from stage. Okay. And you're going to want to, when you're ready to make that paid offer from stage, you're not channeling and winging it at that point. You are practicing, you have slides, you have bullet points, you've practiced it with your board of directors, you've practiced it with your coach. You want to take that really seriously, because you can do it really well, and it doesn't work to wing it. It just, no matter how much I love being able to get in front of a group of people and just channel my brilliance, it just does not work to channel your offer.
I see that experience from the discovery calls. They used to be parallel. Yeah, these are my problems and this is my solution, but I've really mastered that. So I feel like the stage is the next one, that offer, because I could just talk about it and people could all leave and think, wow, or it connects. I see that difference. I haven't practiced enough.
Yeah,
so
absolutely. And the great thing about making an offer, and when you're ready for that, when you have a good handful of clients and you're working with people, the great thing about making an offer is then right away who in that room is serious, and they'll buy or they'll put down their first of 3 payments. And then you can always hop on the phone with them and upsell them into a higher level program as well. But the thing that we encourage you guys not to do is we encourage you guys not to start making a paid offer from stage for a $1,000 or $500 program when you really need clients. Because what's going to happen is not everybody's not everybody who's interested in working with you is going to be ready to buy after 2 hours. But when you get people on the phone and you deepen that relationship, then you start popping those $5,000 clients, $8,000 clients, and ultimately in the long run, you'll make more money going to discovery sessions, especially when you're in a position where you need money. So I would just say, don't go to making a paid offer too quickly. Like, really be ready for that and really get some chops leading this talk with a discovery session at the end first. Because it's just, even if you leave some gaps in the signature talk, you don't quite paint the picture as powerfully as you will be able to do it once you've done it several times. For the beginner who's still figuring out how to do this, you can kind of make up for all of that in a discovery session. A discovery session is like an insurance policy, because you get to actually know exactly now what that person is struggling with, and you get to explain in an intimate one-to-one way how you can help them. So you'll end up scooping up more clients in the long run. So I don't want you guys skipping over that step too soon. So those are my thoughts, but I feel like this is really clear now in terms of, right, recovery conversations leads to like either a recovery breakthrough session or the teleclass. What's the title of the teleclass?
It's been Recovery Conversations Intensive, but I really feel like the title.
So as long as your description of it and as long as the bullet points of what people are going to learn are different.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah. And that's where you get to do your personal work and you get to set boundaries and you get to stop colluding, right?
Right.
Beautiful.
Thanks, ladies.
Kiss for Kate. Mwah. All right, women, for those of you that have your hand up, I am going to keep moving and remind you that for those of you who still have specific questions about your spiral marketing plan, that the Facebook page is a great place to keep leaning into. I also want to remind you guys of the extra credit bonus assignment for last month, which some of you did and some of you didn't do. And I still recommend you guys do it before the end of the year, to post your success tracker. And I noticed that Michelle, you're here, Michelle Kraft, posted her success tracker. So I just want to show you guys what that looks like. You can post your success tracker to one of two ways. You can either take a picture of it, you can print it out and take a picture of it, which I think is a really awesome thing to do, because then you can actually like hang it up in your office and you can really see, here's what I'm working on, here's what my weekly self-care looks like, here's my goal. I've got 12 to 20 clients by February of 2020. This is where I'm going and I'm not going to forget, right? This is written, it's printed, I'm looking at it on a regular basis, right? Michelle's going for $250,000 in 2020. She knows how many clients she needs in her program to create that kind of revenue. And I just wanted to let you know, Michelle, that this whole piece around working with successful women leaders who want it all, I love this. And I think we can probably even get one more degree of specific around that. Are you here, sweetheart? You want to unmute yourself? There you are.
Let me just get my headset. Hi, Levy.
Hey, cutie pies. And you guys, those of you that have not posted your success tracker, can you see the benefit of it in terms of just getting clear? And we're going to challenge you to go ahead and post that success tracker along with your video this month. And we will pull a couple of hot seats off of those. So when you post your success tracker this month, you'll be eligible to get a hot seat in January. Does that make sense?
Yay.
So Michelle, what was your biggest question about this?
I was looking at my funnel and launch. Free gift would be, where did I write it down? 3 ways to reconnect with soul in times of stress, get out of overwhelm, avoid burnout. I was going to do a 3-day Facebook challenge going into more depth of that. And then I have a retreat, February 20th, a soul experience, which I'm already booking for, which is part of the year-long program. And then another funnel or a 3-day live event could possibly be, a free day live event would be Awake or Awaken 5 Steps to True Transformation. So I have a couple of different things that I'm playing with as far as titles and offerings.
I love it. And I just want to invite you to keep getting more specific too around what that transformation is for. Because I hear you speak in that language of transforming burnout and, you know, create transformation, but toward what is the question, right? And I think that this is something that we have to continue to do for each other in our board of directors groups and when we practice with each other. Can you guys feel it? Because when we get so close to our marketing, we begin to lose it. Like we're so close to it that we can't see. So this is why we have to try it out on people. Does this make sense? Does this pass the face test? And one thought I had for you, Michelle, was that you might be the person that helps women transform burnout into a passionate fire of their next step, right? Because that's, you know, when we're burned out, it implies like we have a fire. If we can just transform that into the passion for the next chapter of our lives. That I think is that next level of specific for you.
Would you use the word expansion or no? Nobody knows what that means because it's basically about.
It's not specific enough. It's not that you can't use it. I just don't want it to be one of your like primary 3 results that you're promising. Okay. Expand into what? Expand into confidence. Expand into, you know, your freedom. Expand into a life full of travel or spaciousness. Expand into a life of clarity on your next career step, you know, just
got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Michelle, from the high achieving kind of women that you've had already come to retreats, it sounds like what they're most wanting is to have greater productivity in their lives with more time freedom, and opportunity to have a reset so that they understand here's what they want now, like get clear on what they want and how they want to run their energy in their lives so that they don't burn out.
Right.
You're not necessarily working with only women who are burned out, but they are aware that if they keep going the way they've been going, they're going to burn out.
That's it. Those are more of my clients. Correct. Yay. Okay. And energy. Okay.
Yeah, I agree. I love that for you to really hit those women who are going for it big time.
Okay.
Love it. Give her a kiss. Mwah.
Thank you. Mwah.
You're welcome. All right. I also wanted to answer, I think it was Abby's question. Abby Gibb said, what's your best suggestion for software to build a squeeze page? And how many freebies do you suggest to have? Well, list building versus starting to work on my webinar. So our favorite software for keeping track of email addresses and having your shopping cart and what we call your CRM, which is your customer relationship management software. That's why I have Jen Sebastian. We love Entreport. And Entreport, Megan uses Entreport. A lot of our Lotus clients use Entreport. We actually, for the first time, have gotten you guys our Entreport link. And when you guys sign up for Entreport through us, we get a small fee and we redistribute that money toward the girls in Uganda. So when you sign up for Entreport through us, you will be helping girls in Uganda, which is really cool. And we're also looking at getting a extra tech support call on the calendar for spring for those of you who are using Entreport and who have signed up through us if possible. And the link to register for Entreport is right here on Facebook. It's also in your leverage library. If you guys go up into your leverage library and you go under Rolodex resources in your library, the link to sign up for Entreport is right here. Some of you guys are in some of you guys are in iContact. Some of you guys are in MailChimp. Entreport is going to be that next level of individualization for you with your ability to send email campaigns, to do more segmented things. When somebody gives us their email address, we can find out if they're a beginner entrepreneur or a more advanced entrepreneur, and we can send different emails depending on those answers. We also can look back very easily and see the history of what they've done, what they've bought. There's just so much more you can track in a system like Entreport. Entreport is the kind of system that's going to stay with you through 6 figures, multi-6 figures, 7 figures. You just pay a little bit more as your database gets bigger. And the great thing about Entreport is they have pages. It's called Entre Pages, and you can put up your websites through Entreport, and everything's linked. and their training programs and their videos are all super clear. Their customer support is the best that I found, the best. And their deliverability is much higher than most of the other email database software systems. So when we are in Entreport, more emails are actually getting into people's inboxes. Does that make sense? It's all about deliverability. So if you have joined Entreport because we've recommended it and you didn't go through our link, you can actually you can let them know that you went through our link, and that way we end up getting credited and the money goes toward Uganda. So just email support@sagelevine.com if that is you, if you've signed up and you just didn't sign up through us, but you'd like to just as soon be in there through us. That way, you're in our Women Rocking Business family. You can let them know after the fact. And the question that Abby asked about how many lead magnets do I need? And at what point do I stop creating lead magnets and start working on a webinar? Megan and I will both continue to coach you to only have 1 or 2 lead magnets. You want to focus on 1 or 2 lead magnets to the point where those lead magnets are working for you. You want to actually get the funnel in place around the lead magnet. So yes, if you have a lead magnet that you feel good about, the next step is to either start building out a video challenge in Facebook or a webinar. And you want to actually get to the point where people are getting on the phone with you, they're hiring you, and then you can go create more lead magnets. And I'm not saying don't create lead magnets if you're lit up and passionate and turned on, but what Megan and I both want to warn you against is getting into that mode of over creating. And now you've created all this content and people aren't buying. Do you want to add to that, Megan?
I just think this is a really pivotal time for you, Abby, because your TED Talk was just released. As well, that just having one strong lead magnet.
Thank you. I'm getting my hair done.
I love it.
That's why I haven't been on video. I didn't want to be like distracting everyone. Hello. Thank
love
you.
it.
You should definitely be on video with your.
Yes. Getting those roots done. Okay. Yeah. Thank you both. I'm wondering because like a couple of people are doing Kajabi. Then I know ClickFunnels. Right. And then we've got MailChimp. And so I'm just sort of like, how do I do, I know it sounds just like it's super basic, but like, how do I do a basic email drip campaign, right? Do my basic webinar, do my basic offer. Like, is there one system I can just, is that all Entreport? That's kind of my biggest question.
For those of you that are ready to go into the one system, just get into Entreport. And just get in through us, especially when we've got about 6 or 8 of you already in through us. And if we can see enough of you that have gotten in through us, then I'm also happy to bring in a specialist and do a training.
Oh, yeah, Sage froze there for a second.
Did I cut out?
Yeah, you just froze for a second.
Yes. Yeah.
No.
I would for sure say that for many of you guys who are ready to get into the one system, who's going to be able to grow with you, the one system that's going to be able to really implement all the things that we're teaching to get into Entreport.
And with that, sorry, last question. So is Entreport also the place where I put the squeeze page to start the freebie? Do you know what I mean? Like that they put their email in and then they start the email list.
You can build pages. Yeah, you can build simple pages with the squeeze page and the opt-in box and get it all linked up.
And it does the sales just like ClickFunnels. It'll do like my actual sales stuff too.
You can take the sales all through Entreport. You can have the landing pages. You can do your drip campaigns. You can send out your regular emails, all of it. You can set up monthly payment plans.
Super rad. And then Sage, I know you guys have been really focused on Facebook and like build a Facebook group and build a Facebook challenge, but I have like half millennial, half like a little bit older. And so I'm never on Facebook. And half of my clients don't have a Facebook page. So I'm just wondering, is it possible? Is it okay just to do Instagram?
Yeah, 100%. Do Instagram.
Yeah. And we did some training on Instagram too. So that is in the library. And
Cool.
yeah, and Instagram, definitely, you go where your people are. That's always what we recommend.
Rad. Thank you both. I appreciate you.
You're so welcome. Kiss for Abby. Mwah. All right. So I want to just review some of the list building strategies that we recommend and continue to put in front of your nose for how to make sure that you are continuing to build your tribe on a monthly basis. Many of these are going to be review, but I want us to continue to I want us to continue to have this front and center so that you don't get confused about which ones are the most effective ways and what efforts you can continue to make to build your platform so that you always have more than enough people who are paying attention to you. And remember that building your list and having email addresses is still the single most effective way to market online. You cannot underestimate the power of being in somebody's inbox, right? Yes, you have people in Facebook groups. Yes, you're reaching people on Instagram, but being in people's inbox is still a more active form of marketing. Can you feel it? Can you see it? You're in their inbox. They don't have to be on Facebook to stumble upon you, right? When you have email addresses, it's the single most powerful thing you can do to stay top of mind with your potential clients. So the two things that we absolutely have seen are the fastest ways to build your list are to partner with affiliates in the same way that you guys are doing, that we kicked off you guys doing in Hawaii. And for those of you that weren't in Hawaii, we recommend that you still absolutely take the steps to find partners in the leverage group that can promote you and post for you and do interviews with you. Because referral partners, it's still the fastest way. It's faster than anything else to have somebody that you are in relationship with recommend you to their people. And most of you are fully underutilizing this strategy. Would you agree? You really have not gone out of your way to ask that many people in the leverage community, especially, to post for you, to promote you, to send an email for you. I don't care how big your email list is. You can send emails for each other, even if you only have 400 people in your email database. It's still very effective to promote each other, okay? So when you're ready to do a Facebook challenge, when you're ready to get out there, make sure that you have affiliate partners who are helping to promote you. It's very, very powerful. And then, of course, all the things that we teach you to do with your free gifts, right? Your checklists, your your ebooks, your quizzes. And just note here that I forgot to add Entreport to this, but now that Entreport has a really wonderful low-priced monthly fee. It used to be that you had to spend, $150 a month just to get into Entreport. In the last year, Entreport has completely changed. So please, if you've printed off this handout, please write in Entreport. We actually find Entreport to be much better in terms of providing everything you need in one service, because you can get your pages up in addition to having your email addresses organized in Entreport. And I want to put in a plug that once you have your once you have that free gift, that the next step is to make sure that you send out several emails letting people know what to do next. And we actually got super deep into this spring for the first time. What specifically works in a nurture sequence? What specifically works to move people from, I have a free gift, and now I'm being offered a discovery session? And we started beta testing things, and we had 3 different versions of our campaign that we tested. And we wanted to share the very best stuff that we learned with you guys for the first time. We've never shared this before. So if you guys grab the handout in your forum called Nurture Sequence Examples, this is what works the best. And I feel proud of this because there's another level of intimacy that we have been creating in our email campaign. Once people have, booked their session. This is actually for people who have booked a discovery session. And what we found is that if we don't do this, they don't show up. Does that make sense? So once they've booked their call, they need emails saying, you're booked. Here's what to expect in the call. Here's a case study of a client who had great results, and then a sign off. And then, oh, by the way, when people have booked a call with us, we send them to some kind of a video training or a training that I've done to continue to build the relationship. Does that make sense? So your free gift goes to an offer for a free call. Once people book that free call, even then they need more direction in their emails than most of you are probably giving them. And that is a great time to send people back into a training that you've done with them so that you can continue to build the relationship with them, because even if they have your checklist or your ebook, they still might not have watched a longer video from you really being able to connect with you. So let me back up a little bit because I don't want to confuse anybody. Be sure to use spiral marketing to get people from the checklist or the free gift to the discovery session. And that is, now that you have the checklist, the next step is to grab a discovery session, and here's why. Once they've booked the discovery session, then the nurture sequence to have them show up for that discovery session includes several emails, including case studies of clients who have had results. By the way, you can copy and paste this from other places that you're using it. You don't, all of this can be repurposed elsewhere, right? In the second email, this is where we start to share about our work. By the way, we have these year-long training programs. This way, by the time people actually show up for that call with our coaches, they actually are aware what options they have. There's 12-month programs available. Here's what we're committed to. By the way, if you haven't watched Sage's free training on such and such topic, go take a look at it. What we found is even a third email before they took me up on the call, especially if their call is like a week away, this is where I might share a little story about myself, what I've been through, and ask them, why do they want to make the changes they want to make? And by the way, these same sort of email concepts, these same strategies, these same email strategies can be used no matter what the nurture sequence is. Does that make sense? If you're trying to get them from a free gift into a discovery session, you can still use these strategies. Consider your big vision. Consider your big why. What might be holding you back from your dreams? That's why I'd like to get you on the phone and chat with you and invite you to take me up on an empowerment breakthrough session, right? And then when they don't show up, that's where you want to make sure you get an email out right away. You missed your call. Here's a link to reschedule. No problem. By the way, I've done over 25 sessions in the last few weeks, right? And if you haven't done over 25 sessions, you can also have some other kind of a limiter, right? I only have a couple more spots open this month, right? Always, always, always give them that link to reschedule again. And then I also gave you guys the example emails to warm them up that their free gift is on the way. Subject line, your gift is on the way. Check your inbox in the email. Here's your gift. Yay. Here's how this gift is going to change your life. Oh, by the way, here's a short case study of a client who had great results. And oh, by the way, Now that you have the free gift, the next step is to grab a discovery session or jump into my Facebook group or blah, blah, blah. All right. So basically I had Jen Sebastian help me go through our emails that were the most opened, the most effective, and make you guys these little examples, outlines. And here's an actual example of what the email looks like word for word. Is that helpful? I just really wanted you guys to have like the nuts and bolts of that. Okay. Any questions on that? And then I know that Megan's going to talk a little bit about promoting your free gifts, but Debbie, what do you got?
Is my hand still raised?
Oh, Debbie Meets had her hand up. There you go, Debbie. I love you, Debbie Lichter.
Sorry. I love you, Debbie Lichter, too. Anyway, so my question was kind of basic. It's about this video that you're talking about, this training video. Can you tell us a little bit more about the content that you want to have in that video?
Yep, you can use anything. We've introduced this concept before for getting people to show up for discovery sessions. One great technique for getting people to show up for discovery sessions is to give them something to keep warming up the relationship in between now and when they get on the phone with you. And it can be anything. It could be one of the videos in your Facebook challenge. It could be like, hey, you could be like, hey, I'm giving you the, video number 2 out of my series because it's the best one and here's a topic, right? It could be a training call you've done for your clients. You could just pull one training call or have your videographer, splice it in half. Something that will move them along toward the path that you want them to take. Keep them learning from you, keep them inquiring about what it is that is next in their journey. And if you're creating this video like custom for them, then a wonderful thing to do is to say, here's how I invite you to prepare for your discovery session with me, right? Or here's how I invite you to prepare for your empowerment breakthrough session. I invite you to think about the 3 biggest challenges you've had in the last year and write those down and bring them to the call so we can address those together, right? So if you're, flying by the seat of your pants and, you've got a bunch of stuff to put together, you can always pull something that you've already used. And if you have a little bit of time to sit down and individualize this, it can be very powerful because then you're speaking right to them and you're telling them, here's a quick tip and here's how to prepare for that discovery session. Do you have anything to add, Megan?
Great.
Just so I know, it does make a huge difference being on the receiving end of those kind of discovery sessions when you can reference that and people have watched a video, they're so much more engaged, the trust level is built up, like what Deanna was talking about earlier. She said she had one video, but the more people have watched videos with you, they feel like they now know you more and they trust you. And so more of that interaction is really helpful to conversion.
Yeah. One thing I'm wondering is I'm going to be doing a video that shows people how they can use Qigong practices to open the pathways for their sexual energy to build and to be circulated. Would something like that be a good choice for that video? It might be, I could adjust the length, but I think probably it would be about 10 minutes long. Is that too long, or do I want to shorten it and make it just sweeter to bring them in?
What's the promise of your program again? Remind me the promise of your actual program.
It's to reclaim their sacred sexual vitality.
Yep. So the danger of having the whole thing be Qigong oriented is that it's the same danger as yoga or dance. People will oftentimes put yoga, Qigong, dance in the classification of, well, if it's Qigong that I need, I could just go attend a class at the local community center for $14. So what I'd rather have you do is highlight your expertise a little bit more by sharing a little bit about how they can awaken their sexual healing or awaken their sexual energy, just face to camera. And then if you wanted to, you could walk them through a short 2-minute exercise as part of the video. but I would keep it focused on the transformation that you provide when people really do their work around clearing the sexual shame and reawakening their sexual vitality, because there's so much more than just doing the exercises that you can teach. And I don't want to mislead them. I want to make sure we position
absolutely.
you. I want to make sure we position you as the expert.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Awesome. Kiss for Debbie.
I need to get creative about how to put that together in the best possible way. So hopefully my BOD and my coach can be really helpful with that too.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It can be as simple as giving some examples of what happens when you open up your sexual channel or when you share your sexual shame. Do a case, talk about a case study of somebody that you've worked with who's, who used to be the one who never had sex with her partner or was afraid to talk about it or, just, harbored shame. And then after, learning some simple exercises, having some opportunity to really do the work and go back to the sexual trauma. Right now, she has this kind of a reality. And, encourage people to find that safe harbor and make them an offer, right? It's why I really look forward to getting on the phone with you so that I can be a safe place for you.
Okay.
Cool. Okay. Let's talk a little bit about really promoting the gifts, Megan.
Yes. All right. So the third point on your list building strategies are promoting your free gifts. I'm just going to mute you, Sage, because it's back talking to me. Okay. And most of you have the model in place where you're already offering a free session with you. And so this is what we recommend when you're doing speaking engagements, that you're focused on offering that free session and really giving the value of the free session. And then when you create your next free gift, it could be a video, it could be a worksheet, an ebook, an assessment, quizzes. We know that what converts best is when it's short and sweet. So keeping that as, you can make it simple for yourself and just have one page. A checklist is really great. People love to see a checklist. People love to see something that just has a few steps. And then it also gives you something that you can relate to in the nurture sequence. So one of the tips is from your free gift, you create a nurture sequence with follow-up emails that reference back to it. So if you had a 5-step checklist, then you're asking people, did you check out step 5, highlighting that, going into a little bit more detail. And then if you're offering them the discovery session from there, talk about how that relates to their next step of booking the discovery session with you. And so you can offer the free gift when you go to networking events, when you're speaking, whenever you meet someone that could be a potential client. And then you always have something you can give people. Like this could be as simple as you're chatting with someone who's interested in what you have to offer. And then you say, hey, I actually have the 5-step checklist to freedom from for Debbie, I'm looking at Debbie's video, from freedom from food addiction, for instance, or freedom from emotional eating. And then I would love to be able to just send that to you so that you have some next steps that you could get started with. Could I have your email? And then you have that and you can follow up with them. And after they've had that free gift for a couple days, what did you think? I'd love to hop on the phone and give you some more support. So it's a really easy way to keep that conversation going. And then another tip is posting your free gift with a video or with a graphic on your Facebook business page, and then boosting the post. And we recommend doing that just for $10 or $15 a day for 3 days to test it out. And we know that when there's a hot image or a short video, it really helps convert so that people are drawn to that, they're looking at it, and they're interested in what the next step could be. And Sage, do you want to talk about the tip number 4, how to stand out with the subject lines?
Yes, thank you. I also want to remind you guys that it's not complicated to retarget your list in social media, in Facebook or Instagram. It's not very complicated. And what that looks like is you download your email list into what's called a CSV file, which stands for comma separated values. Write this down. I don't think it's on the actual handout. But you can download your email list as a file of just email addresses separated by commas. You can upload your email address to social media. And then when you boost things on your fan page, you can retarget anybody on your emailing list with that boosted Facebook post, which is a very effective and super affordable way to start using social media marketing without having to spend thousands of dollars on a fancy Facebook advertising team. It's just one of those super hot hacks to getting your content in front of people who are already following you by retargeting your email addresses on social media. You can do the same thing in Instagram, is what I've been told. And I used to do this by myself. I used to do it in my Facebook ads account by myself, and I am not techie. So if I can do it, I know you can do it. We believe in you. So let's also talk a little bit about, for a moment, let's talk about subject lines, because we're talking about taking care of your email list, and that implies that you're sending emails out once a week, right? That are relationship building emails, that you're not only selling to your list, that you're actually sending out content to your list. And one of the things that always amazes me is how when I use vulnerable subject lines, our open rates go through the roof. Subject lines like, "This made me cry." A subject line like, "My vulnerable Burning Man moment." I think that was like our top opened email of all time. I think we had like over 30% of our database open up that list. Subject line, "My vulnerable Burning Man moment." So the challenge to be relevant with your emails that you're sending, the challenge to be personal, the challenge to be current, to let your list know what's going on in your life now and not just recycle, right, old cookie cutter content. So as you're thinking about subject lines, the other thing to think about is a hot subject line is also likely the title of a hot video. Does that make sense? That you're when you land on a hot phrase, you can start reusing that everywhere. So we'll keep brainstorming about that on Facebook, and I highly recommend you guys test out your subject lines, test out your video titles on us. For now, I want to keep going. And just make sure that you guys know the difference between Facebook professional page and Facebook groups, and that we recommend you have both. And I know this is a review for both of you. For most of you, this is a review, but Megan, do you want to just put in a plug for why both?
Mm-hmm. So having the professional page or the business page, which is the same thing, just to be super clear, that allows you to do the ads. So running a light campaign, and if you're not sure about what the light campaign is, that's a really great handout that would be important for you to look at, and it takes you through all the steps to easily run a light campaign. And this is going to give you more credibility, more visibility for your page. And then it also just allows people to be on your page and seeing more of what your content, of the content that you're putting out, and gets you seen in more places. So if you think about, I'm sure you've had this experience where, because we do retarget the lists at Women Rocking Business, you've been on the leverage page, and then you're on the Women Rocking Business sisterhood page, and then all of a sudden an ad is coming up for something that Sage is offering, or an opt-in gift, and you're starting to see it in different places. And you probably had that experience with lots of people that you follow, that you start to see them in multiple places, and it just puts it right at the forefront of your mind. So you want to be at the forefront of people's minds. And when you have your professional page and you can run ads to that, and then you also have the Facebook group, it allows you to have more places to interact with people. And the groups are really there for when you're ready to put some time into creating those relationships, because that's what it is really about, relationship. and connection with people, you're going to have to monitor that or have someone monitor the page for you. And we have the Facebook groups handout as well for you to look at some of those tips. But it's a place where you're going to be able to post those more intimate posts or training videos. I would definitely check out, if you're not already in the Women Rocking Business Sisterhood page, see how much we're creating engagement in that page and posting to encourage people to comment on posts. And it's not a place where you're only going in once or twice a month, because I've heard that from a few of you, and you're wondering, well, why it's not doing much. This is a place where you do have to really be putting in some energy. So when you're ready for that, that's a great place to have more engagement with people. So that would be the two places, and they're different because we talked about a little bit in Hawaii, but the one thing I just want to make sure you know is when you post something in your Facebook group, it can't be shared outside of the group. So if you're posting a video that you then wanted to boost, that has to be on your business page.
I love it. Love it. Love it. So we're going to give you guys a few more tips and then take some more questions. The tip I want to also really hit home is that when you send people back to your website or websites, that you have opt-in boxes on every page. As I was looking through some of your websites, I've noticed this is a place where some of you don't have your opt-in box front and center on your web page. So for instance, on our web page, right, like even though we have our other things going on our web page, right, we have information about the book, we have information about our giving back programs, it's still front and center what we want people to do, like absurdly obvious. Grab your $1 million mission statement blueprint here, right? Nice big red button. And if somebody goes down to the blog, right, and somebody wants to hang out and read articles and see what I'm about and watch videos, when they get to the bottom of my blog, I still have a nice big red opt-in box on the blog, okay? So don't make the mistake of sending people from your website into your blog or into your About Me section, and then there's no more chance to opt in, because you'd be surprised how much people will click around on your website and not do the opt-in if it's not absurdly obvious. And that is how you build your list, because that's your big goal, email addresses, right? And then of course, when you speak, always, always, always have your free gift ready to go, and do your text autoresponder so that when you speak, people can get out their phones right then, and grab your free gift by texting a certain number on your phone. And by the way, Entreport is all set up to do that. And I know you guys have also used text to email and some different services that you use for that are super affordable. So there's all kinds of ways to do that, but make sure that you use any speaking opportunity that you have to be growing your list. And then for those of you that are in Hawaii, we made a plug for getting interviewed and interviewing each other. Do you want to say a couple things about that, Megan?
Mm-hmm. So you all have this amazing resource of each other. You can interview each other into your Facebook groups. If you have those, you can get on Zoom and interview each other and then share it with your list. It adds more credibility. And of course, when you're together in person at events, it's a wonderful opportunity to share interviews. And getting interviewed adds to credibility. It's another way you can do with people outside of this group, getting interviewed on podcasts, for instance, looking for opportunities to be on people's summits. They all build your list, but you've got to offer your free gift when you're on those podcasts, when you're on those summits, to build your list, because just being a guest who's being interviewed isn't going to do it alone. So make sure that you're definitely making the offer. And then inviting your friends to share. So when you do get interviewed for something and you're posting about it and sharing about it, just like Abby posted her TEDx talk on the Leverage page right now. And what I would say for you, Abby, is definitely, of course, sharing that out on your own personal pages, and then inviting friends to like it, to share it, so that it's not only about who you know, but then it's all the other degrees of your friend shares it, now all of her audience gets to see it, and then someone else shares it from that audience, and it ripples out. So asking friends to share videos.
I've been deep in the DMs, and I made like a custom little video message that I sent out to like a list of probably about 1,000 friends, saying like, I'm happy to come on your stories as well to like make it easier for you. And then I wrote 2 custom emails that I was like, I'm happy to write this for you. And then the next step for me is doing the podcast tour, which that's what I have to talk with you, Megan, when we do our training. But yeah,
all right,
awesome. And you're right, Sage. Thank you for reminding me. Just being more specific about my freebie, which was more about my talk, but now hearing you, I'm like, no, it needs to be more about my business again, if that makes sense. The guide was too much about the talk and not enough about how to book sessions with me. So thank you both.
Awesome. All right. And then we're at step number 10.
Yeah, exactly. So good to know. And I want to also put in a plug that this is why we recommend that you guys build this stuff out as your TEDx talks are going live. I know more of you are doing TEDx talks in the next 6 months. Do not make the mistake of not having opt-in boxes, everywhere that people can find you, so that you can actually be following up with people who view your TEDx talk, and, make sure that you promote your TEDx talk by putting you can cut it up, you can splice it up. You can put, I think, up to a 30-second clip on your fan page and boost it and go watch my TEDx talk here. And those are some of the cheapest views that we've ever gotten. It's, costing me 10 cents for somebody to go watch my TEDx talk. And it's an amazing relationship that I build with them when they watch it, even though it was filmed in a small town in Iowa. So make sure that, with each thing you're doing, you're not running so fast that you're not taking full advantage of the pieces you've put into place. We would rather you just have a couple of things going on and you're doing them well than scatter and try to have 5 funnels going on. Does that make sense? And yeah, we've talked a lot about video and live video. We, there's some great phrases that we've given you on how to make sure that you put plugs in your video for your, the viewer to share your video. Here's why we invite you to share this. If you have a friend in your life who's struggling, share this to help her or him have blank, blank, blank. We're all in this together. There's a reminder here to, be in touch with your list regularly, right? And that you can recycle content. Once you have 6 months worth of content, it is absolutely okay to start repurposing and recycling content when you need a break. I was talking to Debbie Lichter about this. I needed a couple months off last year. I just needed to be off. I just needed to not be creating content for entrepreneurs. And, my team has Dropbox folders full of the last 3 years worth of content, and they can go in and see which emails were the most popular emails quite easily in our Entreport system. So they just took, 8 weeks worth of the most successful emails and recycled them. And that's what I really want to invite you guys to get into the habit of thinking about as you're taking these action steps, because it can feel oppressive. I've talked to several of you that are like, there's so much to do, it feels oppressive. Raise your hand if you know what I'm talking about. Right? So to really be sure that you're getting to the front side of that thinking by continuing to affirm to yourself that you are building a library of content that can work for you for 10 years, for longer than 10 years. You get to be like an artist of your message, and everything that you create is something that can keep living. And with, even with small tweaks, it can become fresh and new again 6 months later for your audience. So wash, rinse, repeat. Make sure that you are not falling into list avoider syndrome. Megan, I'm just sort of cruising through these because I know some of these are review for many of you. But I also really encourage you guys, if you haven't been in touch with your list for a while, this is number 15 on your 15 list building strategies handout. always get back in touch with your list. Let them know where you've been, rekindle the relationship, and then be willing to get to the front side of it. At any given point, I always have 2 or 3 emails in the archives that my team knows if Sage is having a busy week, we can just send out this, right? There's always something ready to go. So if you can start getting to the front side of that and just create yourself a small library of 3 or 4 emails next time you get on a plane, or next time you feel like, doing some creative writing, just come up with a few so that you have things to send when you're busy. Then it can stop feeling so oppressive. All right, let's revisit a few more questions. Jennifer Cruz, you've had your hand up for a while. What do you got, sister? It's the Cruz.
Hi. Oh, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Still doing that for a moment. Okay. Thank you so much. I'm so glad you called on me, because I'm like, we have a 3-day event coming up in January, and I was wondering how I can use spiral marketing for that. That's my first question. And my second question is, if I do, when I do my offer.
So pause. So
okay,
that's a big question.
Sorry. Yeah. Okay.
So pause. That's a big question. So this is one of the things that Megan and I want to teach you guys to do on these calls is, to ask specific, succinct questions so that we can always help as many of you as possible. And this is part of the sort of value of being a leader, and getting what you want from anybody. What is the question I want to know the answer to? So give me the title of your, right? Like, we always want you guys to make sure, rather than asking us to do your thinking for you, give us what you know about the event. So what's the title of the event, and yeah.
So we wanted to do something like find the love of your life in 2020. It's about relationships. We have a program running right now as a year program, and we want to enroll more people into that program. Usually what we do is just simply do a Facebook campaign where, it's a simple, tell them about the event. They go to a thank you page with a video, and then they get instructions to maybe join the Facebook group. But that's about it. Like, I don't know if that's enough, or if you suggest that we add anything to that.
Great. Do you have a free gift?
We have a free gift. It's about cutting cords of attachment, which is, with ex-partners. I can reword that to clear your past relationship baggage. It's basically what it's about.
Yeah. Yeah, that's hot. Yeah, like a 5-step guidebook or something to clear past relationship baggage,
it's
to release your exes.
Exactly.
Or
yeah,
even,
I like it.
Even thinking about your theme for the event, like clear, I love that one too, like clear the past relationship baggage, but it sounds like it's so that you can claim love in 2020.
Ooh, I like that. Like put it together.
Or call in your love for 2020, because you're using this momentum of new years, letting go of the old and moving into the new.
I love that. Yeah, thank you.
And then your event is for people who are really serious about taking that intention into reality, like making that intention a reality.
Yeah, I love that. Okay. But then do I need to include
that is a perfect spiral marketing funnel. And then, sweetheart, if you haven't done like a 3-day video challenge in your group to get free tickets or full scholarship tickets into people's hands, that's a super hot strategy.
The thing is that the event is in Puerto Rico. We're in Puerto Rico right now, and my list is international. So we have a very small list of people.
But my list is international. And we have 30%, we have over 100 women fly in from other countries sometimes to Women Rocking Business Live. And the benefit of being on video for 3 days is that as you're teaching, you can also teach about how claiming amazing love in 2020 is about showing up for love. It's about making a commitment. It's about rearranging your life. I'm going to invite you to do something radical, and I'm going to invite you to get on a plane and come to Puerto Rico. Yeah, I know. For some of you, it's crazy. I'm going to invite you to do it anyway. And here's why. Here's why Puerto Rico is freaking beautiful. Here's why Puerto Rico is the #1 hottest place to find love in 2020. Hear what I'm saying for every single one of you guys, because we forget that we are the leaders of what we're offering. And so leadership in some ways is 10 times more important than the content that you're offering, right? Its context is 10 times more important than content. What I mean by that is your leadership. So, remember that when you make a case for people taking crazy action steps, they will consider doing it, because guess what? You're probably the best idea they had all day, right? The reason they're watching the video is because they haven't found love. They need your help. So why not trust somebody else if they're not finding love? So I see that some of you can sometimes be a little bit gun shy to step into that level of certainty and leadership. And, my request is in 2020, unabashed leadership for you guys, for our leverage group. It is time. People out there are lost. They're spinning out. They're overwhelmed. Why would we be afraid to lead them? Are you picking up what I'm laying down?
Yeah.
Own it. Own it. Claim that you want these people there. I mean, I'd get on a freaking plane and go to Puerto Rico if I was still looking for love. No question. I think it's the best idea I've heard, especially since it's been pouring rain here in Santa Cruz for the last week and dark and cold and miserable. So, okay, you had another question, but I'm excited for you. Get them to Puerto Rico.
Yeah, that'd be great. My other question is, when I do my offer from stage, do I have them fill out an application after that? Or do I have them, if people tell me they need, do I give them 24 hours or a certain amount of time? So I just don't know what to do after give them the offer.
Go back through and listen to the training on live events and how to make an offer at a live event, how to make a paid offer, and then also listen to the training on the re-offer or the re-pitch. Those trainings all live in your library under the event section, because it's a big conversation, and I want to make sure you get the whole picture of how to do it, and absolutely have them fill out an application.
Okay, yeah. Perfect.
And absolutely give them a deadline by which to hand it in. And it's probably going to be handed in tomorrow morning before the break, so that we can all have lunch together or whatever it is, right?
So I don't do it on the third day. I do it on the second day.
Make the offer the afternoon of the second day. And then the offer is always in 2 parts. First part, fill out the application on day 2. Re-offer on day 3. Go listen to the training, because you're going to want to get the whole picture.
Beautiful. Thank you so much.
Give her a kiss. Mwah.
Thank you.
All right. Yay, Puerto Rico. All right. Who else do we have, Megan?
Let's see. I know that Stacy Ellen's had her hand up for a long time. Stacy, are you ready with your question?
Hi.
Hi. How's it going post-event with your?
Oh my gosh, it's good. It's good. I'm having those re-conversations now of some of the people that were there, so that's good. Close to enrolling this guy today, so that's happening. What I've been I think since the beginning of my business a few years back, I've been struggling with the spiral marketing. So I'm glad we're going there, because I feel like it's a step that I've skipped. Over and over again, because I've also, when I've switched markets, then then you redo stuff, and it's always been something I feel like that's been missing, and probably would make my life much easier. So I'm at this point. I know Sage always asks, can I go from the event down? Because I think what I'm missing now, I have different free gifts, but nothing's really worked or fully taken people to the next step, and I don't know if that's. I don't know. So I guess I'd like to start, if I may ask, from what the event was, and then go that way. Does that make sense?
Like going from someone who has come to your event and what would be next for them?
No, backwards. Reverse engineer it, because at this point, I haven't found a free gift that has taken people into a discovery session very well. I have something on my site. When I do talks, I have people text in and they love my affirmations I give them.
So what are you giving them right now for the free gift?
No. I mean, there's a different free gift on my website. It's called Conversations to Cash. Now that was when I was fully branding myself as a like more soulful sales coach.
Mm-hmm.
And then I went into transformational coach, and now I'm back Sage and I talked, I think I'm more clear that I am a business coach that does a lot of healing and the inner work for entrepreneurs and business owners. And that's what my whole year-long program is right now.
Yes.
And that's what people are coming to me for. And like the guy I talked to this morning, you know, he's been in business for a long time, but now he's stuck. And he's doing other programs, but they're not working for him. He hasn't done some of this inner work in order to move him ahead in his business. So that's my client. No.
Yeah. And so this is where having those kind of discovery sessions, and for all of you, when you have those discovery sessions, when you're in those conversations with potential clients and you're hearing, here's what they're challenged with, this is what they're struggling with. And then you're able to find out, okay, how could I create something that would help them with that first step? So this is similar to what Sage was talking about at the beginning, where clients, you know, are looking to, you know, get more clients, for instance. Like people want to find clients. They want to learn how to have enrollment conversations or sales conversations. Some of those basic things, because they need to get people now. They need to get some money coming in through their business. And that is one of the primary concerns that business coaching clients will have.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I get that. I mean, that's obviously, you know, get more sales, the front end marketing. That's why I'm with you all. Yeah, like that's what was attractive. And I feel like the people that come to me, yes, they want more money, but it's not always how do I get more clients. So they know they're stuck. I think is more so there's something they're stuck with, and you know, they're just, even if they get, I don't know. So that's why it's been really difficult in the front end marketing.
And I think that being said though, Stacy, my sense is that you haven't really niched down to the business niche. You've been more in the leadership niche. And so I want to make sure that you guys stay open to trying something new in terms of magnetic language to get people in the door. Because I was so sick of the get clients message when I first started my business and opened my doors. I thought nobody's going to listen to me if I talk about getting clients. Like everybody's saying it, it's so overdone.
Yeah.
But the thing is that the way that I was saying it was attractive to you guys.
Mm-hmm.
The way I was talking about enrollment from an authentic place, from a feminine place. And so the way that it's not that it won't work for you. It's that, can you bring yourself to that? And if it's not that, it can be something else. But my guess is that you'll get people's attention.
Okay.
Yeah. And Stacy, it's kind of like you've never really niched down from what I can tell.
Well, it was in the beginning more around sales. And then I felt like I had a healing, and they wanted me to talk about transformation because I have all these healing gifts that came up. And now it's back to the business owner, entrepreneur, even like the salesperson in a company. They come to me because that's my background, and helping them do all the inner work in order to then shine brighter. And it's in tandem. I'm doing all the inner personal growth alongside.
You're going to do both.
Yeah. You still get to do all that inner work.
You get to talk about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. You get to do both. And that's the exciting thing for you guys when you keep getting really clear on each piece of your funnels. And what I'm going to recommend that you do, let's give Stacy a kiss. Mwah. Keep following up, girl. They're out there. And remember that you don't have to go backwards in the spiral from an event if people haven't even been to an event. You're starting over with them, right? So start over with a free gift that if nobody's been to the event yet, now is your opportunity to get their attention with something totally fresh and new, right? You get to be the queen of how you get their attention. So I want to make sure we wrap up the call on time, or mostly on time. And I'm going to invite you to take the spiral marketing concepts that you've come up with on today's call and on Facebook. Take these And by the way, like over half of you have not posted. So the over half of you that have not posted, I'm going to recommend you post something so that you can start letting us know that you're clear on at least the problems that you're solving in 1 or 2 pieces of your funnel. It doesn't have to be the whole thing. So post this week if you haven't already. And then what I'm going to recommend is that you copy and paste that into your coaching prep document for your next coaching session with Shayna or Deborah or Megan. Are you picking up what I'm laying down? Because this is the conversation that we want to be in with you for moving into a new year, with you knowing that you are marketing as downstream as possible, that you are putting out offers and opportunities and video topics and lead magnets and Facebook challenges, that you are putting out marketing material that is as easy as possible for people to raise their hand and say yes to, that you are not working too hard, that you are going with the stream rather than having to educate people about why they need you, that you are giving them the thing that they want the most. If there's one thing we can do to move you into a new year that is full of everything that you're looking for, clients and retreats and travel and the ability to keep flourishing and your business growing and continuing to plug into leverage and continuing to come to Women Rocking Business Live events, right? It is making sure that you continue to make sure that your marketing is simple, that it is obvious what you're doing for people. And once they walk in the door, you get to do all that inner work. You know, Stacy, you may say get clients on the front, but on the back end, they're doing all the inner work. You get to do all of that because you're brilliant at that. So I'm excited to watch your videos. Don't forget to brag on camera. It's no kidding. I am a big deal because I was up against this challenge and this challenge and this challenge, and I rose above it. I did the signature talk anyway. I started the Facebook group anyway, and now I have this new client that I love, right? Whatever it is. Claim your transformation, claim that you're a big deal, claim that you rocked the stage. We're looking forward to hearing all of them. Remember, they're due next week. So some of you are moving into the holidays. Some of you guys are starting to travel next week. So you may want to just get those videos posted this week. Keep working on your spiral marketing. Do you have anything to add, Megan? What a great joy to always lead with you.
Always a great joy to lead with you and to be with all of you. I'm looking forward to being with you all next week for more Q&A time. And I'm looking forward to reading all your spiral marketing plans on Facebook. I love seeing them pop up there. So I know this is going to help you get a lot clearer in your marketing and start to attract more clients as you head into 2020.
I will be sending you love from Uganda. 1,000 teenage girls' lives are touched because of you. You did this. I will be sending you love. I will be posting pictures and videos for you. So stay tuned and please know that you are a part of that journey. You're a part of, you know, hundreds of girls having the empowerment not to get raped on their way to the borehole. Like, I'm just going to be super blunt. Like, what you're doing and what you're saying yes to in your businesses and as being a part of our community and, you know, saying yes to being a part of a community that does give back, that you're a part of solutions that are happening on the other side of the globe. So don't forget that every single one of you will be in my heart as I go. And I look forward to seeing you next year, and I'll be in touch with you on the Facebook page in the meantime. And don't forget, for those of you who did join us and started this past May, if you were not in Hawaii and you're curious about what it looks like to put that first month down on leverage and lock in your grandmothered rate, just email support@sagelevine.com, and Shannon and Claire and your coaches, somebody will reach out and get you all the details for that offer. I look forward to seeing your I'm a Big Deal videos. Have fun making them. Keep getting clear with your coach. Keep scheduling ways to promote each other and have each other's backs. Get with your board of directors this month, because some of you have new groups, and it's a really good time to keep that momentum going. connection is currency. And keep getting on the morning action calls, 15 minutes, and you're connected to the tribe, and you're back in honesty with yourself about what I'm supposed to be focused on today. So rather than letting yourself slip up, hop on those morning 7 a.m. 15-minute accountability calls. Thank you to everybody who's been leading those calls. We've been hearing great things. You're doing a wonderful job. Happy holidays. And Megan will be here next week. I'll be sending you love from afar. Unmute yourselves so that we can feel each other on the way out.
Bye, Sage. Bye, sisters.
Thank you, sisters.
Everybody.
Bye.
Happy
holidays. Bye.
Bye.
Oh, love
You're
you.
amazing. Your clients are waiting for you. Keep going.
Hi, Angela.
Love
Audrey.
Good to see you, Taya. Good to see you,
Rachel.
Vanessa. Good to see you,
Yeah, let's
Kathleen and
connect
Audrey.
in text.
Good to see you, Adrian.
All right. Bye.
Good to see you,
Happy
Marcella.
holidays.
Hi, Erin. Good to see you, Heather and Cindy.
I say thank you, thank you.
Good to see you,
Hi,
Jen.
Megan. Thank you.
Good to
Hi,
see you,
Vanessa.
Janine.
Safe travels.
Good to see you, Sherry.
Holly.
Love you, Shay.
Ellen. Ellen, I received the refund from the hotel.
Good to see you, Anne Greenwald. I hope you had an amazing time on the island with your boys.
Thank you.
It's like a love fest.
Hi, Janice.
Okay, one more big.
Reverend Jen. Oh, bye, Heather.